Ronan, as I said to Ben O'Connor, he's had some fantastic days in the Munster Senior Hurling Championship as a player. So have you, growing up and becoming a Cork Senior Hurler and playing the Munster Hurling Championship. It's very special. How does being on the sideline, trying to dictate how a match is going to go, how is that going to go, and how much you're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, the Munster Championship is a very special competition. Obviously, I suppose we always dreamed of playing in it and stuff like that. So it's a bit different on the line. I suppose your lack of control is kind of hard, but it's good to try and bring the best out of players, get the best out of a team, and so on. And it's a very special championship, obviously. And we grew up in Cork and Tip, up in Thurles and down here and stuff like that. So it's just a game you really, really look forward to.
How happy are you overall coming out of the National League? You didn't get the trophy, as Ben said after the game. You got everything, just about everything else you were looking for out of it. You've had a good look at a couple of new players. You've tested them out at different stages. There seems to be a real intensity about the training and the squad right now, which is what you'd want and expect at this time of year. But from your point of view, what's the thing you got the most out of this National League?
I suppose competition really was the biggest thing. Competition for places and places on the panel. I suppose when we came in, we always thought we wanted to bring a level of competition and intensity to training and stuff like that. So you fellas making decisions under pressure when they get the games, it becomes that little bit, I won't say easier because it's never easy out there, but you're more used to it and stuff. So it was great to blood a few new lads. I don't know, did we play 33 or 34 players throughout the league, something like that, and a lot of them applied themselves very well. Obviously, a few fellas would be disappointed to not get more game time and stuff like that, but that's the nature of the beast when you have so many players on the panel. Obviously, Will Buckley went very well over the league campaign. Tommy O'Connell came in, Darragh O'Leary came in. There was a lot of good cameos from the bench and stuff like that. And delighted with that side of the league. Obviously, a lot of learnings, especially from last Sunday's game. Obviously up against an unbelievable opposition. So we got to learn from that, take the positives, whatever we can kind of tinker with, for the Tip game, and bring them forward.
Yeah, the intensity, as Ben has said, is going to absolutely ratchet up, as you would expect it to for the Munster Senior Hurling Championship, going into the back garden of the All-Ireland champions. There's going to be so much hype about what happened in last year's All-Ireland final. Am I right in saying that you've drawn a line under that? This is a new season, and really you've got to play the game that's in front of you rather than harping back to what happened?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and you have to draw a line to it to a certain extent, but you also got to learn from the things maybe we didn't apply ourselves well at, the things we have to get better at, and so on. The intensity levels is going to be through the roof when it comes to Thurles. Obviously, the game last Sunday was good for us, good preparation for the championship. It's a game we wanted, but I say there's things we have to improve with. One thing that we can't be short of is a massive work rate, massive intensity, and a massive one for that battle and that fight the next day in Thurles, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Whenever you play Tip, cliche alert, it's never an easy game. They're the All-Ireland champions, obviously. They've got it's been a quieter run into it because there's been a lot of hype about the Cork and Limerick National League final. So they're coming in not under the radar. You know exactly what you're going to get. Did you take specific things that you saw from Limerick and things that you did in the National League final that you can immediately translate into this game? Or when you came out of the National League, was it always a case of, right, it's clean slate, this is what we're going to do in the Munster Championship?
Yeah, there's a bit of both to it. Obviously, look, the first thing we got to realise is Tipperary the All-Ireland champions. We're going up to their backyard, we're trying to take them on. It's as simple as that. They won a great All-Ireland final last year, and we're going in there. I suppose there's things from the league that we can improve on and bring to that game. As I said, there's things from last year's game that we have to look at. But obviously, Liam Cahill is a very shrewd man. He's going to have his tactics on the ball. He'll throw a few curveballs at us. We have to be ready for them with our whatever plans we have. They can play in lots of different ways. They create space very well. Their interplay is very good. Ball to hand. The players, they know what they're doing. So we've got to be ready for a few different variations of the Tipperary, and we're just looking forward to the battle going up, taking on the All-Ireland champions.
The intensity of the Munster Senior Hurling Championship is, as soon as this one is over, it'll be instantly forgotten. Probably not forgotten, but you'll be immediately getting the headlines of "Here come Limerick." Does the fact that the matches come so quickly, I know as a player you probably appreciate it because you didn't really have much time to wallow if you lost and much time to think about if you won, and from a management point of view, is it much the same? Look, we've got to get a result in Tipperary if we can, But whatever happens Monday morning, we're turning around for Limerick. Then we've got Clare and Waterford coming down the line. It does come at you so. This is where your squad as well will be huge, running like that. You're going to get injuries. The intensity of the Munster Senior Hurling Championship that the lads would have experienced last year and done very, very well in. How important is that now, that experience of going well in it?
Yeah, it's very important, and obviously the turnaround is very fast. And the big danger of that, obviously, as you mentioned there, is the injuries. You know, Sean O'Donoghue picked up a bad knock the last day, like, you know, so we're looking at that. And like, if you pick up a knock here at any stage, you could be out for 3 or 4 weeks. You could miss 2 or 3 games and stuff like that. And that's the hard part of it. But the one thing I will say is we're not looking past Tipperary next Sunday week. It's all about Tipperary. We can move on after that game, but right now every single part of us is concerned in going up to Tipperary, taking on the All-Ireland champions. And when that's done, whatever way it goes, if there's learnings from that after that game, then we'll go forward. But it's all Tipperary now.
Excellent stuff. Everybody in the Big Red Bench wishes you all the best of luck in the Munster Championship.
Thanks very much.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
it.
Thanks.
Thank you.